What is translanguaging? Translanguaging has been defined as the use of a person's full language resources without worrying about enforcing boundaries between languages. Those language resources can also include nonverbal and multimodal communication, such as the use of gestures, visual materials, objects, or technology to communicate meaning. But before we go too far into the what of translanguaging, let's focus first on the why. People who are entering a new language environment are not acquiring an extra foreign language. Rather, they are learning a language that is becoming part of their everyday lives. This means that they need to feel that the language is truly their own and that they can express their full selves through that language. Adults also bring a wealth of knowledge and experiences to their learning, and we want to be able to mobilize that knowledge and not make them feel like they are starting from zero. One way to think about students' language resources is to move from seeing them in a hierarchy, first language, second language, third language, and instead see them as one big box. In that box is the student's complete or unitary language repertoire, which includes all of the ways they know how to make meaning and communicate with others. We access different parts of our language repertoires for different purposes when communicating with different people. The speakers themselves are the ones who need to choose the resources from that box. How does this all relate to task-based learning in the English class? The goal of a task is for learners to achieve a certain outcome, in this case, to get their landlord to fix something in their apartment. The learning comes through figuring out what language structures and vocabulary to use to get to that outcome. As we saw earlier, learners are meant to use their own resources in the process, which is where translanguaging comes in. Let's look at a couple of possible objections. Here's one common concern. My students speak so many different languages, I can't learn them all. It's not about us, the teachers, doing the translanguaging. It's about creating space for students to work through their ideas using whatever resources help them do that. This space can make it clear that students do not need to hide or sideline practices like taking notes in various languages, using a translator, or talking to a partner who shares similar language resources. Here's another important concern to think about. My students are only in English class 2 nights a week, and this is their only chance to practice English. This is often true. That's why it's important that everyone is fully engaged in the learning tasks and pushing themselves to communicate their true thoughts and ideas in a way that their audience will understand. Translanguaging does not mean that people are speaking other languages all the time. In the next video, we will look at specific moments in the learning task where translanguaging spaces might be beneficial, and we'll see how teachers can help students use those experiences to develop their range and confidence in English.